In 1912, a man named Wilfrid Voynich reached into a chest of discarded books at the Villa Mondragone outside Rome and pulled out something that would confuse the entire world for over a century. The manuscript he found was old. Deeply old. Carbon dating would later confirm it was created sometime between 1404 and 1438. It was 240 pages of handwritten text on vellum, dense and flowing, accompanied by hundreds of intricate illustrations. Strange plants. Naked women submerged in green liquid connected by elaborate pipe systems. Astronomical charts with suns and moons. Zodiac symbols. Biological diagrams of things that look almost, but not quite, human. None of the writing matched any known language. Not Latin. Not Arabic. Not Hebrew. Not any cipher system anyone had ever seen. And here's what makes that genuinely unsettling: it wasn't random nonsense either. The text follows real statistical patterns. It has word frequency distributions consistent with actual human language. It has grammar-like structure. Something, or someone, constructed this system deliberately. They built a language, or a code, so sophisticated that the greatest code breakers of the 20th century walked away defeated. That's the open loop we're going to close today. Let's establish what we're actually dealing with. The Voynich Manuscript currently sits in the Binet Rare Book and Manuscript Library at Yale University. It's catalogued as MS 408. Anyone can view high-resolution scans of every page online. Millions of people have. And across more than 100 years of serious academic and cryptographic analysis, no one has produced a universally accepted translation of a single sentence. Wilfrid Voynich was a Polish antiquarian, a rare book dealer with a reputation for finding extraordinary things. When he acquired the manuscript, he also found a letter tucked inside it, dated 1666, from a Bohemian scholar named Johannes Marcus Marci. That letter claimed the manuscript had once been purchased by Holy Roman Emperor Rudolph II for 600 gold ducats. Rudolph reigned in the late 1500s, which means the manuscript had already been circulating, and already baffling people, for at least 150 years before Voynich ever touched it. Marci's letter also mentioned a rumor that the manuscript was the work of Roger Bacon, a 13th-century English friar known for writing in cipher and for ideas so far ahead of his time that some accused him of sorcery. Carbon dating later ruled Bacon out. The vellum postdates him by at least 150 years, but the rumor tells you something. Even in the 1600s, people sensed this thing was extraordinary. Now, let's talk about who tried to crack it, and failed. During World War II, the United States employed some of the most brilliant cryptanalysts alive. These were people who broke Nazi Enigma communications, Japanese naval codes, codes that changed the outcome of actual battles. William Friedman, considered the father of American cryptology, spent years on the Voynich Manuscript. He died without cracking it. His personal copy of the manuscript is filled with handwritten margin notes that eventually just stop. The NSA took a formal run at it in the 1950s. Their analysis remained classified until 2002. When it was finally released, it said almost nothing useful, which is itself a kind of answer. In the modern era, AI and computational linguistics have been applied to the manuscript. Algorithms trained to detect language patterns, identify letter substitutions, recognize steganographic techniques hidden inside images. Some researchers claimed partial progress. In 2019, a British academic named Gerard Cheshire published a paper claiming he had decoded it, announcing it was written in a lost dialect of Proto-Romance language. The University of Bristol initially promoted the finding. Then linguists worldwide reviewed it, and the consensus was swift and brutal: the methodology didn't hold up. The university quietly distanced itself from the claim. The loop Cheshire claimed to close opened 3 new ones. So what are the credible theories? The first is that it's a genuine cipher. A real language or real information encoded using a substitution or transposition system complex enough to resist all known attacks. If true, the information inside could be anything: herbal medicine, alchemical processes, astronomical observations, religious or occult knowledge someone wanted to protect from the Inquisition. This theory has the most academic support. The second theory is that it's a constructed language, a philosophical language of the type that became fashionable among European intellectuals in the 17th century. Under this theory, the manuscript is an early attempt to create a universal system of communication, built from scratch. This would explain the statistical patterns while explaining why no one has found a key. There may not be a traditional one. The third theory is that it's an elaborate hoax. The most prominent version of this argument was made by researcher Gordon Rugg in 2004. Rugg demonstrated that a device called a cardang grill, a card with holes cut in it, slid over a grid of syllables, could produce text with the statistical properties of the Voynich script relatively quickly. Under this theory, someone in the medieval or early modern period fabricated the manuscript to sell to a wealthy collector like Rudolph II. But the hoax theory has a serious problem. The illustrations. The hundreds of detailed botanical drawings don't match any known plant species, but they're not random scribbles either. They have root structures, leaf patterns, biological coherence. Some researchers have found loose resemblances to plants native to the Americas, which raises a question no one has fully answered. How would a European hoaxer in 1420 draw plants that look like New World species, decades before Columbus? That's the twist this manuscript keeps hiding. Every time you think you found the exit, there's another room. Here's where we land. The Voynich manuscript is real. It's old. It was made by someone who either knew something, believed something, or wanted someone else to believe something, badly enough to spend extraordinary time and skill creating it. The vellum is genuine 15th century material. The ink chemistry is consistent with the period. Whatever this is, it was made a long time ago by a human being with purpose. It has survived wars, the dissolution of empires, the deaths of every civilization that surrounded its creation. 600 years of history tried to destroy it and failed. And after a century of the most sophisticated analytical tools humanity has ever built, it still hasn't given up a single confirmed sentence. The codebreakers who cracked Enigma couldn't do it. The NSA couldn't do it. Modern AI hasn't done it. Maybe the answer is sitting in a detail every analyst has already seen and not recognized. Maybe the key is in one of the illustrations, or in the ordering of the pages, or in the specific dialect of a language we no longer speak. Or maybe whoever wrote it was simply, profoundly better at keeping secrets than we are at finding them. If you want to go deeper on unsolved codes and lost knowledge, the next video is already waiting for you.